Get with it, get a boat.
Oh.
Get with it, get a float. Get a boat and go, go, go. Have more fun on the H2O. Get with it, get a boat. Get with it, get a float. Get with it, get a boat. Get with it, get a float.
This is Meg Foster, and you're listening to East Coast Horror Group. Mike, Gray Skull is mine.
Well, hey, hello, and welcome everyone to another episode of From Dusk Till Con Radio. We are your hosts, the East Coast Horror Group. That consists of me, I'm Drew, and as always, right here in studio with us, my good friend, Mr. Michael Exler. What's up, Mike?
Not too much, man. Looking forward to this jam-packed show this evening that we have for everybody.
It is. You know, From Dusk Till Con Radio is all about the cons, creeps, and culture, but also the collectibles. And today we have another collectible show for you all. Coming to us from Toy-Hio in Ohio, Mr. Rick Fusselman. What's up, Rick? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Good to have you here at the top of the show. Talk about another toy show coming up here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
So we want to start off first by saying congratulations on the birth of your new child.
Oh, thank you.
Fox
Thank you.
Fusselman.
Fox Mulder Fusselman?
Fox Bauer Fusselman.
Oh, nice. I like that.
So,
Thank you.
You did your best work.
And I sign off. Have a good night.
So let's start off. Before Toy-Hio, you started Time Capsule Toys. Talk a little bit about deciding to start that venture up.
Okay, I've been collecting toys for quite some time now, off and on. And I was always buying and selling stuff at conventions and things like that. And I started doing Time Capsule Toys as pretty much my convention name for selling toys.
Right.
And then as time progressed, I continued to hate my job more and more. And then I decided to buy and sell toys full time. So that's how Time Capsule Toys pretty much came to be. I've been going around to various places, driving all over to find whatever I can to buy and sell. Maybe 2 months ago, I drove out to Brooklyn, New York, and bought a guy's childhood. And it pretty much has been nonstop since. So that's pretty
cool.
much, yeah.
The thing about vintage toys, I think that a lot of people don't understand is you can't go to a catalog and just, I'm out of stock, so I need to buy those. It's a little bit more involved than just your typical vendor at a show.
Yeah, it gets hard. I just did, there's another convention here in town called All American, and it's put on by All American Cards and Comics. They have 2 comic book shops here in town, and they just did a show this past weekend. And for it being like a comic book show, I sold out of a ton of stuff. So now it's I haven't been able to really go anywhere. But tomorrow's supposed to be nice, so I may go out toy hunting.
Nice. That would be a nice job, just to go out and toy hunting. Drew, not the toys you're thinking about.
You just go to adamandeve.com, dude. You don't have to hunt anywhere.
That's gross.
They got the biggest dildos you can find, dude. Ugh. They have a dildo shaped like a fist. That's a true story.
I'm always down for a good thing.
You would know. So that brings us to Toy-Hio. You decided to put on your own toy show. What made you want to do that?
That was something I was thinking about for a while. And the one day I have indoor booth at Four Seasons Flea Market here in town. And the one day at my booth, my buddy Tom came in and said, "Hey man, we got to put on." He's like, "I know you've been thinking about putting on a toy show." He's like, "I think we should." He's like, "I think we should team up and do it." And then after that, it was pretty much the kick in the ass that I needed to finally get like a toy show up off the ground.
Right.
Because in our area, like, we don't have one. We have like All American, which has grown drastically, but it's more geared towards comics and stuff like that. And in our area, we don't like have an actual toy like show, so that's why we decided to do it.
So this is located in Niles, Ohio. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, you are correct. It's like 10 minutes outside of Youngstown.
Okay. Very cool. So, who do you plan on having at this show? What are some of the vendors like?
We have like 30 tables of vendors. We have Time Capsule Toys will be there, of course. Space Age Toys will be there, which is Tom's like up and coming toy company. There's a guy from, I believe he's from Newcastle. His company name is Giant Man Comics. He has like I don't know where the world this guy finds his stuff, but he has like carded A-Team figures from like back when. I know he has some Superpowers figures. He has some like crazy stuff. We have one artist coming from Michigan. Collector's Cave from Pittsburgh will be there.
Right.
We just talked to them the other day.
Yeah, because they just did their Papa-Palooza show.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
And I'm trying to think. Oh, All American Cards and Comics have tables at our show. Our friend Rich, who used to do Horror Realm, has a table at the show.
He's not our friend because he's not listening tonight.
I know.
So
He's listening via his heart.
yes.
By heart, you mean deed.
I'm trying to think who else we have. There's one of Tom's friends who've been buying toys forever and finally needs to start letting them go. It has a table, and I guess this dude has like insane stuff because he hasn't like sold anything in like 15 years.
Nice.
And he's just been like hoarding. So that guy has a couple tables. I'm trying to think who else. There's just like, what was that?
I was just going to say you deal mostly in vintage. Will there be a mix of vintage and new? Obviously, with the Pops being there, that's new. But is there going to be any new toy dealers, or just primarily vintage?
Oh, there'll be some new toy dealers, most definitely. Like you said, we'll have the people carrying Pops, and then All American is going to be carrying probably a lot of newer action figures and some comics.
Cool. So it sounds like a nice wide variety of vendors.
Yeah, we made sure to distribute tables accordingly. Like, I know we're even having like, I think it's 3 vendors that will all be selling retro video games too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a big market for that as well, right?
Yes, there is. I believe it's on the decline now.
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, because it like peaked, and now when Nintendo releasing like the Nintendo Classic, and everyone be able to hack it and pretty much put every single game on there and all that stuff, it's pretty much on the decline. So, but I know the people who are selling retro games at our show were former collectors, and they're getting out of it, so they're looking to unload their like entire collections. So they'll probably be looking to make some deals with people so they can go home with a lot less.
Liquidation is always good at a toy show.
Yes.
So we have, being that it's July 29th, and this has been the year of death, heat, and humidity, is there AC at this facility?
Yes, that's the one thing me and Tom made sure of. I told him, I said, thank God there's air conditioning in here. I said, because the last thing I want to do is die from heat and the smell of farts.
It's very true. It can get very smelly at these events.
Yeah.
True.
That is for certain.
Drew, did you smell some of the people at Palooza?
Just you.
Well. Damn it.
Thanks, everybody. And Tim Kretschmann producing the show. Thank you.
On the soundboard.
And so, Rick, what was your most proud find? What was something that you found that you were just like, holy shit, I can't believe I actually got my hands on one of these?
For my personal collection or to resell?
You can do personal. That's fine.
Okay. Recently, actually, I have a couple of things. I actually just posted a couple on this toy group because I never posted them before. I got a RoboCop helmet and blaster a while ago.
Wow.
Brand new in the box, which is like incredibly hard to find at a good price, especially still sealed. It's basically all it is a plastic junky RoboCop helmet that you'd put on as a kid with like a Gatling gun, Nerf gun, and then
Nice.
they slapped a RoboCop on the side of it. But like they're incredibly hard to find. Like I said, still sealed. And I have it's still in its plastic little baggie that's sealed from China. It's also another RoboCop toy.
Huh.
It's I collect RoboCop toys.
Right. Okay.
I almost have the complete Kenner line, and then I started getting into the like really crappy Orion stuff. But I got it's a test sample from China for Ann Lewis. So it has like the little piece of paper where they wrote their name on it and slapped it to the bag.
Huh.
Oh, nice.
And then I have something I'm just staring at right now, looking at. I got a Mad Balls Mad Roller Cycle with the box from some guy in like the UK. It's like when they started making these Mad Balls action figures that would shoot their heads off.
Right.
For some reason, they made a vehicle for them, and they only made one vehicle. But the thing with them that's always missing, the basketball hoop that's on it. Because you're supposed to be able to shoot the basketball off, and its head's supposed to go in it or something. I don't know, but it doesn't work. But they have that. It has like that. But the main reason why I wanted to get it was because it still actually had the box. Because they never have the box.
Dude, am I wrong to say that sometimes the box is worth more than the toy inside?
You are 100% accurate. Because that is the case a lot.
It's just so crazy. I mean, and that's the thing about vintage toys. I mean, these were all played with. So I remember as a kid, I used to smash shit all the time.
Oh yeah.
You know, my G.I. Joe collection that I had was a mess. And if it wasn't, it could, sell for a pretty penny. But, it's just hard to find mint things in this area of collecting.
Yeah, that's like the whole thing with boxes is boxes, like you said, boxes sometimes will fetch way more than the actual toy itself. Like Masters of the Universe stuff, it's just that artwork. And G.I. Joe, it's the artwork. It's that thing you would see as a kid, and that's what would sell the toy. Right. And then, of course, when you get it and you open it, you're like, this doesn't even look nearly as badass as the painting on the freaking box.
That's the truth. Yeah, I had someone, when I did Too Groovy, I had someone ask to buy the box for Snake Mountain.
I saw that.
Yeah, they didn't want the Snake Mountain inside. They already had one. They just wanted the box.
Yeah, people are all about the boxes. Trust me. I had a guy come to me at my flea market booth asking me if I could get him a USS Flag box from G.I. Joe.
Good luck.
And I laughed. Because I'm like, are you serious?
Isn't that like the biggest thing that G.I. Joe that they ever made for that line?
It was hands down the biggest playset ever made. It's like 7.5 feet long or something like that. It's huge.
New Dimension Comics out in Century 3 has one on display. And it literally takes up like an entire storefront window. Yeah,
one of the collectors I deal with regularly, he has one in his computer room on display.
Wow. I'm sure complete.
It is complete, and it's in the middle of the room, and this thing is freaking huge.
So ridiculous.
At like for example, like one Steel City Con, other guys from the Pittsburgh area, D&E Collectibles, they had a USS Flag for sale there, and I didn't even realize that they had it there. I thought it was just a sign for it saying that they had one for sale. But no, they had stuff stacked on top of it. I thought it was a table. When I asked them where it was, like, it's right here. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that that's the actual flag. I'm like, I thought it was just your guys' table.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, they I watch American Pickers. I don't know if you watch that at all.
I watch it religiously. Coincidentally, I also met Mike Wolf in Pittsburgh when I was eating lunch with a friend in Pittsburgh like 2 years ago.
I would like to meet Mike Wolf.
I was just waiting in line to use the bathroom. I turned around. I heard someone talking about this person's shirt, and it was Mike Wolf.
Was he nice?
Oh, yeah, very nice.
But I've seen them, you know, they go after their tin toys and all their whatever. But I've seen a few where they sort of passed on the plastic toys.
Yeah, it kills me.
It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I just hope they get with the times and realize that people that like tin toys are dying. And
That's what you have to. I tell people that all the time. It's like you have to change with the times. It's like I'm sure there's people out there who are younger who collect tin toys. Like I just actually this at my booth yesterday, I had two brothers who collect old toys from the 80s and 90s because that's what they were given to play with when they were real little.
Right.
So they collect He-Man, they collect Ninja Turtles, and they collect G1 Transformers. Because that's what their dad gave them to play with.
Right. We have a question from the chat. What is the most valuable Kenner Star Wars action figure?
Oh my god. I would probably have to say, if I had a guess, I would say it would have to be probably one of the original, what were they, 10-backs? Is that what the original Star Wars were? They 10-backs or 8-backs? I can't even remember.
I don't know.
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah,
It means however many figures are on the back of the card. That's what they call them. So I think it was 10-backs. I'd probably say it's probably like a 10-back Darth Vader on card, or either Darth Vader. Oh, I lied. It's that. Oh God, what is it? It's like the Boba Fett that like shoots or something like that. That it wasn't supposed to be put out, but it snuck out or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
fetch some money.
Yeah, I've seen people post carded Vaders from like the original release, and they're upwards of like $300, $400, $500 depending on the condition of the card.
Yeah, there's one at a toy store, probably about 45 or so minutes away from me. I believe his Vader's graded. Don't hold me to that, but it was like $1,500.
Huh. That is insane. And our producer Tim just said that, and this is why things are so hard to find, that he set one of those sliding lightsaber Darth Vaders on fire.
Oh, those sliding lightsabers are worth like probably more money than the figure. Because that's how hard. Because they were they're like stupid hard to find.
I could go back to my Christmases and just put everything in bins.
Yeah,
doing really well.
Like I just pulled up. There's a vintage 1982 carded Boba Fett. It's AFA graded at 75, and it's $2,599.99 or best offer.
Jeez.
But I'm sure there's more valuable Star Wars things than that. Oh, here's one. A AFA graded 80 Boba Fett. That's up to $1,125. It has 2 hours left, Mike, if you want to go bid on it. It only has 28 bids. It only has 28 bids.
That's like my mortgage payment and car payment for a month.
What is the AFA and the grading? What does that mean?
Action Figure Association.
Huh.
And then the number is out of 100. So basically, if you get anything, I want to say it's anything less than like a 75, it's like not worth it to get it graded. And then here, the one crazy thing about getting your stuff graded also is if you send it to them and somehow the packaging gets damaged on the way there, they will open it and grade it as a loose figure.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah, which of course will diminish its price drastically.
Wow. So that's kind of a gamble sending them shit.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So we have another question from the chat from Ben. What is your holy grail toy to find?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Holy grail toy. Well, it was that RoboCop helmet and blaster until I got it.
It's
So
funny
now
how
it's
grails always change.
yeah, so now it's like other stuff. Right now, I would have to say if I could get a really like mint carded Mosquito from Masters of the Universe, or like a really mint Skeletor or Hordak from Masters of the Universe. Those are like my 3 favorite Masters of the Universe characters. If I can get any 3 of those like super mint on card, I would probably shit out tears of gold.
Oh, shit. So I've been telling Drew, this is a little off topic of the toys. I've been telling Drew a little bit about the greatest television show that America has ever seen, Mountain Monsters.
Jesus Christ.
It's a cinematic masterpiece.
It is. It is. Now, Rich and I actually got to go meet the guys. You were in midst of having babies.
Yeah, I know.
So you were unable to go. Now, I like the Snallygaster and also the Raven.
Stop it. Stop it. It's not even real stuff. They just put words together and call it that. It's dumb shit.
So who were your favorites as far as the monsters go?
The monsters? Oh, God. I'm trying to think.
The Tally Hooter.
Snallygaster.
God. I'm trying to think of the episodes. What's the episode where the creature throws a tree at them?
Shut the fuck up, dude. Nope. Nope.
They're driving they're driving like their golf cart and it throws a damn tree at them.
That wasn't the was that the one in Kentucky?
I don't even remember that. I remember that scene though and laughing my ass off. But I think my favorite, just because it's beyond stupid, would have to be the Yahoo, because they call him that because they say that's the noise he makes. He just yells Yahoo.
Yep.
It sounds like it's just a drunk redneck, dude.
Yeah, it probably is.
Oh,
And I also really like the Raven Mocker because he's the one that he can hypnotize you, right?
Yep, he can control your mind.
What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, he sounds like a raven, but he can control your mind.
That's also the episode
dumber.
That's the episode too, isn't it? Where somehow Huckleberry was like naked and they tackled him into a river.
Yep. They always end up. Someone usually ends up in a body of water. I remember Trapper. Ended up in a lake. He said that I don't know if it was just a regular Bigfoot or it might have been the Ohio Grassman. He said he picked him up by his ribs and threw him into the lake. Oh shit!
So wait, during these episodes, they act like they found one of these things and were accosted by it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome. A couple episodes, you actually get to see something's face, and it's like so ridiculous.
It is.
What do they just use practical effects and like shitty masks and stuff, or what?
I don't know. I honestly think it's just a big practical joke on them.
Yeah.
Because I honestly don't think that they're smart enough
Oh god.
to catch on.
There's no way Wild Bill is an actor. I met that man. No way has he ever acted. He's for real. He thinks it's real.
There's no way in hell any of those people are actors.
Now, have you ever seen the Ohio Grassman being from Ohio?
I have not,
Oh,
but I've heard many, many stories.
many a tale.
Yeah, many a tale. Well, and I went to where in the world did I think it was for maybe it was for Horror Realm when I was setting up there, I can't remember, but some team from California came to Girard, the town where I live, to hunt Bigfoot. Why in Girard is beyond me, because there's 0 Bigfoot sightings here. There's about 4 feet of woods.
Well, they obviously planned out well,
Yeah.
did their research.
Yeah. They should have went out to where my parents live, because last summer, supposedly a creature was spotted out in Bezetta, where my parents live, and they called it the Bezetta Beast.
God. You should have just directed them out to the east side of Youngstown. That'd have been all right.
It's not that bad anymore.
Oh, really?
You can't get shot there anymore. The violence has moved over to Warren now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, because Drew, you used to have a residence in Boardman for a while, right?
Yeah, I went to YSU. I lived in Boardman for about 6 years.
Oh, Boardman, nice. I was just looking at houses in Boardman.
I did not see any sort of grass monster.
There's really no woods there.
There's lots of grass, though.
There is lots of grass.
He's a grass man.
And a mall that's going downhill.
Oh, God.
Not Century 3 bad, but...
Oh, God, that's horrible. It's like a fucking tomb. But I just remembered one of an episode where they actually did catch a monster. And the trapper was saying that a lot of times that when he hears people's stories, he's got to see if they're embellishing. And they were talking about this wild boar that was like 900 pounds and stood like 8 feet tall when it stood up. And they actually caught a wild boar that was like 300 pounds. It was quite big, but not quite as big as people were talking about. So they were excited about that, and I think Wild Bill ended up eating it. Because
probably.
The entire time that they were looking for this boar monster, all he did was eat pork. He actually he had his grill set up in the back of his truck with like bungee cord so it wouldn't like flop everywhere while he was driving, because he was actually grilling shit as he was driving down the road. And then he had this giant ham at the one meeting, and he just kept eating off the ham because he wanted to get one with the pig.
That's a good way to get a bear to come after your ass, that's for sure.
Wild Bill is awesome.
So, yeah. Mountain Monsters Destination America. It's probably the best. So, where can people find out all the information about Toyhio and free admission, correct?
Yes, free admission. It's 11 to 6 at the McKinley Heights Fire Hall, number 40. And you can find it on Facebook. Just type in Toyhio, and it'll pop up. And then at the convention, we'll actually be announcing the date for the next one.
Awesome.
Which will be this winter.
Ooh, a winter show. I like that.
Yes.
There's not a lot of winter shows. It's nice and cool.
No. Yeah, I know. So I don't sweat so bad when I'm hauling my crap in and out these buildings.
That is important. So yeah, go check out the Facebook page. All that info will be on eastcoasthorrorgroup.com as well when we put the show out. Rick, we appreciate you stopping by, taking some time and talking to us about
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
toys and
No
Bigfoots and such.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
We
All right,
appreciate you.
Good.
We'll talk to you later on.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
See you
All
later.
right.
All right, bye.
That was the Ohio grassman himself. Rick
It
Faulkner.
was. It was. Like I said, if you watch that show with the right frame of mind, it's going to be amazing.
By right frame of mind, do you mean super high?
No, just thinking that this is not real. Just enjoying it for the craziness that it is.
Well, obviously it's not real. They're chasing around made-up monsters.
They don't think that at all. I did want to, before we get onto the Days of the Dead thing, I did want to mention 2 shows that I wanted to see if you've seen, Drew.
Okay.
The first one is American Gods.
No.
It's on Stars. I know you have the Fire Stick,
I do.
so you can watch it. I guess Neil Gaiman wrote it.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with him. I mean, I know his name. I know he did Sandman and this. It's fucking amazing. If you have time to watch it, it's only 8 episodes. They're like 50 some minutes each.
Okay.
It's completely worth it. If you like Lynch, you're gonna love this.
Huh.
Because nothing is spoon-fed to you whatsoever. There was like, I think 4 episodes in, I had no idea what I was watching. Not like this is shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like it was building up to something decent, and then the season finale told you some things, but you're still like, what's going on? I don't understand. It's definitely, I think, a think piece, but the writing and the acting are just so good. The style, the way it's shot, is really sort of next level type stuff. And where I think this is going with our view on religion, I think you would really dig it from that standpoint. So I really highly recommend American Gods. Geneva had heard some people talking about it at work, and so we tried it out, and I'm definitely glad I stuck with it, because the first episode I was kind of like, what the fuck is this? Why am I even doing this to myself? But well worth it. So check that out on Starz. I highly recommend it. It's not horror, but it's good. Then the other one is called Blood Drive on the Sci-Fi Channel.
I think I've come across it as flipping through things to watch, but I have never seen it.
I did the same thing. It was on, and I started watching a little bit of it, and I decided to DVR it. It's really good. It's definitely a throwback to everything exploitation. There's horror. There's, the car type movie, Nazi exploitation, just black exploitation. There's just everything. It's rolled into one, but it's not done in a shitty manner. It's done like they really give a fuck about the exploitation genre.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's violent as hell. It's on Sci-Fi, I guess, at like 10 o'clock, so all bets are off. They say fuck and all that kind of stuff. There's nudity, lots of hot women. The gore is fucking great. It's campy to a bit, like exploitation sort of campy.
Right.
But when the episode's over, they do a preview with the movie guy's preview voice, that.
Oh, yeah.
One. And all of them are set up like, they're like, okay, the next one is fucking zombies was this week's episode. So it was like an old VHS box that had the title fucking zombies on it. And it's just really well done. I think if you ever, it's not a think piece. Don't think that. It's just something to have fun with. So I also recommend Blood Drive.
Something that I did watch that you recommended to me that I just finished yesterday, and I finished in about 2 days, was Glow.
Oh yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad you checked it out. Did you see Awesome Kong?
Who was that?
Awesome Kong was the welfare queen.
Oh, then yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why you kept saying Awesome Kong, though.
That was her WWE name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they only had one wrestler. She was the only wrestler involved. The rest of them were not.
Well, obviously, Allison Brie is not a wrestler.
No. Is that Ruth?
Yeah. What else was I going to say about it? The Wolf Girl, dude.
What is that about, right?
She's just really a wolf, man.
Yeah, dude, she's a wolf, and she's really weird.
The robot that has drugs inside of it, it's awesome.
Dude, how about the promoter, though? The director of the show?
Oh, yeah, dude. He has a really successful podcast.
Oh, really?
Funny. Yeah, the president has been on his podcast before, just in his garage. Huh. Well, I'm sorry, Obama, not the president.
That's interesting.
Not the current president.
I heard people talking like he was famous, but I had never seen him before. But I think he's fantastic in that fucking role, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I think it fit him to a T. And I kind of want to be like him.
You want to be him?
Yeah.
You want to make out with your daughter?
That was hilarious.
I'm like, they just old boyed the fuck out of this show.
Yep. That shit was great. And was I right? You don't really have to be a fan of wrestling to find that enjoyable?
Oh, no, yeah, not at all. It's way more of a drama than it is an actual wrestling show.
Yeah.
And getting to know the characters in the show, which they've done well with. It's the same guy who wrote Orange is the New Black that I know you haven't seen. Same girl, rather. And it definitely has a similar feel to Orange is the New Black.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have not watched that again. It's just a time thing. Like, there's just so much to watch. But I kind of like that this show was like only a half hour long.
Yeah.
You know, the hour shows are good, but man, it's kind of tough to squeeze them in. But that's definitely a binge-worthy series, and I'm hoping there's going to be a season 2.
Oh, I think there will be.
Yeah, I don't see why there wouldn't be, because I'd really like to see, because Glow was a pretty decent deal back in the day. So I'd like to see them actually like go on the road and stuff like that. So
I wanted to ask you this. There's a documentary on Netflix as well called Glow, about the real Glow.
That's correct.
Are there things on there that could be plot points to to other seasons? Would I ruin anything by watching the documentary, do you think?
I don't think so. I have not seen the documentary, but I know the two are not connected at all. I don't even think the characters in the TV show Glow are any remote to what those wrestlers actually were. So I don't think there's any connection to the two.
Machu Picchu wasn't real?
No, I don't think so. Machu. No, I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I've heard really good things about that documentary.
Dude, what about the KKK versus overrated? What is it, Chain Gang or something? What do they call it?
Great.
Dude, it was so good.
So fucking good, man.
And her Russian accent and the Russian character was really good, I thought.
The only thing with no line in Russia, abortion line.
Oh man, but yeah, I was watching an interview with Alison Brie yesterday about the show, and originally they didn't want her because they wanted somebody that, they keep calling her not pretty, right? All throughout, that's the joke, right? Yeah. It's like, you're not pretty enough, and obviously she's gorgeous. But it was just
next door pretty.
I mean, in that show she is. They really made her not. They made her as not pretty as they could in that show.
Oh, because I don't know what she looks like other than that show, because I've never heard of her.
Yeah, she was in Community. She is married to Dave Franco, which is James Franco's little brother. He was in like 21 Jump Street.
Oh, shit.
And
okay, yeah, I know that dude.
So
wasn't he Stifler's little brother too? Didn't he do a stint of that?
Man, I don't know. Maybe.
I think he did. It's going in the Wayback Machine.
Dude, the way back. I love Stifler's character. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. Let's talk about Days of the Dead. We've coming up on 2 weeks now since Days of the Dead has passed. We didn't really get to talk about our experiences there. We didn't have a show last week, so I wanted to bring that and try just for a few minutes to kind of talk about that. There's a lot of stuff on Facebook now. A lot of the panels are up or going up, so make sure you check those out. But I just wanted to go over real quick some of our experiences and what we would like to see again, and just some of the stuff that went on that people might not have seen who were there. So, Mike, why don't you start us up?
Well, there were I don't know where to start. Should we start with panels?
Well, I was you got to do something a little bit special on Friday night after a couple of panels.
Yes, we did the first ever Hall of Fame, Days of the Dead Hall of Fame inauguration. So what's going to happen is until Charlotte, each city is going to get a Hall of Fame induction. And then after Charlotte, we're going to pick a city a year that'll get it. So, let's just say Atlanta is going to get it in 19, something. And then the next year, another city will get it, and so on and so forth. So they inducted 3 people, Roddy Piper, Jason Hoover, for the Independent Award, and then I was able to induct Sid Haig into the Hall of Fame, which was really a cool experience. Sid had no idea what was going on. Little peek behind the window. When he came backstage, he said, "Hi, Michael, how you doing?" And I said, "Good, Sid, how are you?" He was like, "I don't have a fucking clue why I'm here." I was like, "Well, you'll see." And I think he was a little perturbed to be away from the table, not knowing why he was there, all that kind of stuff. And so Adolfo was doing a little spiel, and then he announced me, and then I went up and did a quick little spiel. I had a little longer of a thing planned, but I did not do that because I didn't want to upset Sid anymore. So did that, brought him up on stage to a standing ovation. He finally, he realized what was going on, did the acceptance speech and all that kind of stuff, which was very classy, very Sid-like, basically stating that, he wouldn't be where he is without the fans, and just, very fan-friendly as Sid is. And a little behind, again, a peek behind the stage, when the award ceremony was done and he came off stage, he was very, very emotional. You could tell that this really touched him, and that was definitely a side of Sid that I had never seen.
Right.
And I thought that was really, really cool. So he was really appreciative of that, and he the rest of the weekend he actually had that the award on his table, prominently displayed. So that was very cool. So we'll have to see who's going to be inducted in Louisville, whatever.
It's you, dude. You're getting inducted.
No,
Michael Exter's in the Hall of Fame.
I am not in the Hall of Fame. Maybe I'll get to induct somebody, but I'm not going in there. So Friday we did. What do we have Friday? Oh, we had the Kane Hodder panel.
Man.
He just wanted to talk about himself constantly. When you have an individual, Larry Zerner from Friday the 13th Part 3, who played Shelley, who is technically the reason that Jason has a hockey mask, doesn't do a lot of conventions, and that guy, I probably got to ask that guy, maybe 3 questions, if that, because it turned into the Kane Hour, which was a little disappointing.
Yeah, he just kept asking questions to everybody else. I mean, the other guys were great, of course. They always are, CJ and Steve Dash.
Yeah, Steve's always great. I think Steve should be at every show, everywhere.
It's true. Steve should just go everywhere all the time.
Yeah. So next to Sid, I think Steve is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Seeing the man is fucking hilarious.
It's true. He doesn't take shit from anybody. He'll give it right back to you.
He will. He gives no fucks, as the kids say. And then we also had the Day of the Dead panel with Laurie Cardille and Howard Sherman.
It's true. I'd never got to meet Howard Sherman before. He had some fun stories.
Yeah, he was very interesting. Definitely I liked a lot of the stories that he told, and he's very well spoken, well thought. Before he spoke, he definitely wanted to, have his words correct. The thing that I thought was great was one of the audience members asked him about the nod to Bub on The Walking Dead, and he was basically like, "Yeah, it's great and all, but I'm available. They could have told me." So I thought that was funny. Which doesn't make any sense why they didn't. It's Nicotero. So.
Yeah, he did the fucking movie to begin with.
Yeah, you think you could throw a bone to that one, but he didn't. So that was a good panel. And then we did the Hall of Fame, and then we passed out.
We did. And then we got up again on Saturday to do it all over again.
We did. What was Saturday? What did
we had Dawn of the Dead, I think, first.
We did have Dawn of the Dead. That's right.
Which was Ken and
Galen.
Galen and what's his name? Now I gotta open it.
I don't know if that's his name.
Scott
Reiniger.
Yeah. So they got to talk a little bit about Dawn of the Dead, and they always have cool. I mean, Ken can pretty much run that panel by himself, really, to be honest, which is cool. And then your friend Galen Ross gave a couple of answers that you really enjoyed.
I did. She's a peach.
Oh, and on the Friday the 13th panel, we didn't talk about. Well, maybe we should just tease that.
What's that?
With Adrienne King's revelation on stage.
Yeah. She it sort of turned into a little bit of a therapy session.
It absolutely did.
She talked about something that she had said. She said herself. Now, we're not pumping this like this is doing our own fucking hype. She said she has never really spoke to length about this situation before, ever, to anybody in the media or at a convention or anything like that. So I think a lot of people know about the situation, but I don't think she went in depth anywhere like she did here. So
Exactly.
if you are a part 1, part 2 fan, you definitely want to check that out just for that story, because that's a piece of history in the Friday the 13th history, and I'm not sure it's a good one.
Yeah.
It happened. I was actually shocked.
Yeah, times were different back then.
They sure were. I didn't realize how different, but kind of shocking.
Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to definitely check out the Friday the 13th panel, because that's an interesting look into some of the Friday the 13th lore, obviously, because she was the hero from the first film.
She was.
And well, we'll just let you guys check it out. So make sure that you are always checking out our YouTube page, or you can even subscribe. That's nice.
Subscribe. An email will be sent when we upload something.
It's true. You get an alert on your phone. There's a lot of stuff. You'll always know when you have the latest and greatest horror news, interviews,
and tiddly-hoos. We do not want you looking for our content. We want to bring our content to you.
That's right.
It's because we're here for you. We also want to bring you some of the best shirts on the convention scene at fastcustomshirts.com.
For only $24.99.
You can get 2 of them. Go to fastcustomshirts.com, type in the search bar East Coast Horror Group, take you right there, and then go, after you purchase 1, 2, 3, or 4 of those, peruse Joe's other fine work.
It's true.
Definitely support local. If you're in Texas, he's local, but he's small business, so support small business. We also have a link directly on eastcoasthorrorgroup.com that'll take you right to Joe's page where our shirts are.
That's true.
So after the Dawn of the Dead panel, we had a little surprise panel. Was not expecting this one, since George Romero was unable to be there due to health issues. John Russo sat in for him on the panel.
Mike took this one by himself, so for some reason he just really wanted to do it alone.
It's not the case. I came in and I came back from getting our picture taken with Jason's.
Right.
And you had to pee for the 900th time during the day. And he was standing on stage. I was like, oh, I guess we're doing this.
Grandpa, come back here.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? He didn't know. So I was like, all right, we'll do this. So we talked a little bit about Night of the Living Dead and some of the other things that are happening. That one's probably not going to go on eastcoasthorrorgroup.com.
No?
No, that's... I mean, maybe if it's like we're really, really desperate for content. And, I mean, I don't have a meme to put up or something. We might put that out. But,
should I put this 12-year-old meme up or the John Russo interview for the 7,000th time?
yeah, so that one's probably not going to see the light of day.
It's true.
But we had a good one after that.
It's true. Mr. D. Snyder was next up, and with musicians, it's always a little bit weird. I really don't know what to expect a lot of the time, because actors are very much like about their craft, as far as musicians are being their performers, their artists. They're a lot of different things, and they usually are a little bit bigger personalities. And it was the case for D. That's for sure. He is certainly a big personality.
He is a huge personality. To be honest with you, I always thought he was kind of a dick. Seeing him at shows and whatnot, could not have been more wrong.
Yeah.
About him. I just think he's just, like you said, a big personality. I thought he gave insightful answers. He played along with the audience really well. He respected us, which we don't get all the time.
It's true.
He's definitely a guy that could have ran that panel all by himself.
Oh yeah.
But he realized that we put in some work, and and he wanted to be professional that way. So we definitely appreciate that. And I also wanted to say Sunday we went past his table just to say thank you for the panel and everything. And he is the first celebrity out of all the panels that we've ever done that has said to us, it was good working with you.
Yeah.
And that might not sound like anything special or anything, but it meant a lot to me. I can't speak for you, but it meant a lot for me.
Oh, yeah.
That he actually viewed us as some sort of equal and not scum on his shoe. So
Exactly.
I thought that was really cool of him. That panel is actually going out tomorrow.
Boom.
So you will have that for your weekend.
Look for the story about Carl.
Huh. Great story.
It is.
Carl.
So look for the Carl story on that panel. Also, just to show what kind of a guy he was, is that on Friday he was late getting in. There were some weather issues. I don't know if you guys remember 2 weeks ago, but it pretty much the world flooded. And so he got a little bit backed up, and he got there a little bit late, but he stayed up till, what they say, like 2:30, 3 in the morning, hanging out with the people who were supposed to get their picture taken on Friday and get their autographs, and was back up and ready to go the next morning.
Yep. It was I don't know of anyone that would do what he did that Friday for his fans.
Yeah.
Like, that was legit. So a lot of respect for Dee Snider coming out of this. So that was very cool. So check that out tomorrow. He also has a very cool story about Alice Cooper.
It's true.
Which I thought was really interesting. So once you're done watching or listening, whatever your preference is, to the Dee Snider panel, you should definitely go type in Alice Cooper on EastCoastHorrorGroup.com. Watch that panel from Chicago.
Then we actually had a great panel with Matthew Lillard.
We did. It was awesome.
Oh, man. Actually, we did not get to have a panel with Matthew Lillard because he preferred to do it himself. So that's what happened.
Yeah, Ben asked for highlights and lowlights of the weekend. This was my low light. Was Matthew Lillard. So
yeah, I mean, I don't want to confuse it with he was an asshole or anything like that. It's just that he didn't think that maybe we had put in work to do this, and that by saying he wants to do it himself, that it's kind of a waste of our time. So he was very cordial and very nice and very approachable, but I just think that there wasn't a whole lot of thinking beyond his nose as far as that goes.
Yeah, apparently I had left. Geneva stayed to record the panel for what I don't even know at this point. Maybe I'll put it out, maybe I won't, I don't know. But I guess he had thanked us for I don't know what he thanked us for. I don't know. I was not happy. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of work goes into these, and again, Drew's right. He wasn't an asshole about it. It wasn't like he dismissed us and walked away. It was just, yeah, it just sucked. So.
But you got to do the John Russo panel to make up for it.
I did. That's that made so much. That made it better.
It's true. It did.
But it didn't.
And then Sunday we wrapped it up with, of course, Sid Haig, who I think we could probably tell Sid Haig's stories by now. I mean, I think I know more about Sid Haig than I do about most of my family and friends.
Yeah. But we always seem to at least get one news story out of him.
It's true.
And that's just crazy to me because of how, I don't know, many times we've interviewed him, but that just shows you the amount of stories that he has.
It's true. Always a good time. Everybody always likes to hear what Sid has to say.
And then I think probably the most interesting panel that we've ever done.
I would say so.
The most different, I guess, was the Godzilla panel.
It was. We had an interpreter, which I didn't know how that was going to go exactly. But the guy was really good. His name's Corey. I forget the fuck his last name is. I'm sorry, Corey. But we got to talk to him a little bit and just get a little bit comfortable with that. And it was, Mike, I remember that you brought it up, that there's a certain level of respect in Japanese culture, apparently, where, since Haruo Nakajima was the original Godzilla, that the other Godzillas have to kind of pay a certain respect to that and hold him to a different standard and different degree of respect from other peers. And I just thought that was interesting because, I mean, the man was obviously a very feeble individual, but they were intimidated by him, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. Kitagawa even prefaced one of his answers with, "I know this might upset Nakajima, but I'm going to disagree with him." And but he had to state that, like, he
Right.
did not want to upset Nakajima whatsoever. Also, Kitagawa was there the entire time to help him on and off stage, carry his oxygen, all that kind of stuff. So it was really cool to see the level of respect given to the elderly in the Japanese culture. I think if you got Kitagawa by himself, he would light the stage up.
Oh yeah.
with his personality and his answers. That since he was next to Nakajima, I think that got toned down a good bit, which was cool to see, because I have no experience in the Japanese culture whatsoever.
No,
So
neither do I.
That was cool to see, but I would love to have Kitagawa back in some capacity, because I think his answers and his energy would be a really cool panel one-on-one.
Yeah, he wants to be Ultraman, dude. He wants to be a Power Ranger. Who doesn't want to be a Power Ranger?
I felt so bad. He was like, I joined this thing just to be a Power Ranger, and it just never happened. But I got the feeling that he really digs America, where I think Nakajima not so much.
Well, I think Nakajima was probably alive whenever we weren't such good friends.
Well, yeah, there is that. But there's an answer. The panel is out right now.
Yeah.
The Godzilla panel. I wanted to get that one out as soon as possible. But we asked the question about the difference between American Godzilla fans and Japanese Godzilla fans. God damn it, Tim.
No, Tim, we're not saying that.
What was I saying? Damn it, Tim.
See what Tim did? God damn it, Tim.
Fuck, I had something really relevant to say. Oh, the Godzilla panel is out. We asked about the difference between Japanese Godzilla fans, and American Godzilla fans, and Kitagawa's answer is really, really interesting. And this might sound stupid, but it's very Japanese the way he said it. They have a certain way of speaking, and
yeah.
It was and that was the one that he actually prefaced the answer with, that this is going to be different than Nakajima, and he apologizes for speaking.
I mean, I think that it's kind of like all over the world. That's the kind of Americans are very loud and straightforward kind of you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, it was a cool interview though. Definitely an original one. Something we haven't done before. Something you guys probably haven't seen before. So you're going to want to check that out on the YouTube page. You might as well like it and subscribe and put a comment in the comment section and tell us how awful we are, or how great we are, what you would like to see or what you wouldn't like to see, and all that kind of good stuff. We like your criticism, and we like your views as well. And there's no commercials on our channel either. We didn't monetize the page, so you don't have to watch a stupid fucking commercial about Geico every time you switch videos. You could just stay on our page all day long, commercial free.
True. It's because we love you.
That's what Mike said. I didn't say that.
Drew tolerates you.
No, of course I love you all. But I mean, I think that's probably going to wrap it up for this week. Mike, do you have anything else?
No, that's it. Just go check out Toy Hio on Facebook. Check out our page, eastcoasthorrorgroup.com. We're going to have next week, last week's Dead On movie reviews, where we had a special guest panelist.
Tracy De Leon.
Yes, Tracy De Leon, who has a baton on her shirt. So a lot of cool reviews going on there. And
Yeah, that was a fun show.
D. Snyder panel will go up tomorrow. And a lot of new content next week as we get ready for Louisville.
Lowellville.
Just sounds stupid.
Lowellville.
Louisville.
No, you sound like you have a stroke. Anyways, just wanted to thank Tim again, of course, for all his help in production here. We love you, Timmy, and we couldn't do it without you. And, of course, thanks to everybody in the chat room that came out and listened live. I really appreciate that. And I hope to see you back here next week for another episode of From Dusk Till Con Radio for the Cons, Creeps, and Culture that you can stomach.
East Coast Horror Group.
That was my dick. I know I gotcha. Yeah.